Hello everybody and welcome to another MX Bikes video. Today guys, we are going to be talking about why I ride the Husqvarna. I'm the only quote-unquote pro. Some people are mad I'm saying pro, so you know what, aerial rider in the 250 class that's riding the Husqvarna. I'm the only one that qualified in EU and NA yesterday, and some people were just asking me like, why are you riding this bike? Why don't you get on the Husky or the Honda or Yamaha? Which are, you know, two of the main bikes you see people ride. Actually, the only bikes that qualified for NA and EU other than me on this Husky. So, basically, going to be talking about that today. I'm going to give you guys a setup at the end of the video as well. So, with that, someone hit that like button. And, yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for stopping into the stream if you did. If you did not, make sure to stop by next time, man. Every Friday, we're going to be streaming the aerial races. Obviously, if I make it or not. Hopefully, we do all the time. All right? Let's stay positive here, but... Anyway, I did pretty dang good today, and still a lot of people, why are you on the Husky, you know, what are you doing, and all this stuff like that. So that's what I'm gonna talk about. Alright, I'm just gonna talk about the attributes of this bike that I like, because I really do think there's three main bikes. Okay, it's the Honda, Yamaha, and Husky. I don't think there's other bikes that can compare to these three, but I do think, I will agree, that the Yamaha and Honda do separate themselves as far as power, which is what most people care about. They want the bike with the most speed. But these tracks, you know, I'm not going to say they're super rough, but they're fairly tight, and there's not a lot of wide open space. There's not a lot of parts where you're just wide open. Obviously, the top guys are wide open like everywhere, but, you know, I'm not a top guy. I'm not running, you know, probably even within 3 seconds of these top guys' pace. So that's actually one of the reasons I chose this bike, is because I don't actually need that much power. You know, I rarely ever put this bike on the limiter, or rarely ever even have trouble clearing jumps. I will say on this track, there was 2 jumps that I did have trouble clearing. This one right here is one of them, the step up triple. I don't think anyone was really clearing it. I mean, I was just kind of casing it like that, which isn't a big deal, but yeah. And then there's also that big table that's down there to the west, that's also pretty big. I think I can clear it if I do take the outside line, but I was usually taking the middle line, so it is underpowered. I have to agree. Another big problem with it being underpowered is the starts, which I don't know, man. I actually got one pretty dang good start. Actually, no, I got 2 really good starts that I choked, and like down these rollers right here. This next corner up here, this freaking middle rut, bro. I don't know what it was today. I just couldn't. Oh, look at that. I didn't even take it. I was going outside, basically, the entire day. I was just taking that outside line, which actually wasn't too bad. I was losing basically no time to the guys I was riding against, so it wasn't a big deal. But anyway, I actually kind of like that it's a bit underpowered. I think it helps me a lot, and I think it can help people that are trying to learn. If you're just on the Honda and Yami, you're going to loop out a lot. You're going to lose the back end a bunch, and I don't know. More power isn't always better in some cases, so I don't know. That's one of my reasons. Another reason is the weight of this bike. Now, in the past, obviously I've been more of a Yamaha guy. I was a Honda guy, I was a Yamaha guy, I was a KX guy a long time ago in the last OEM pack, but I will say weight is something that I've gotten used to a lot with this bike. This bike's pretty dang light, which some people would argue is a bad thing. I bet Skills would probably argue that's not good. He, you know, likes more of a heavy bike, I think, and that's why he, you know, has the power to the ground a lot. That's why he's so freaking fast, other than him being just not human. But I like the lightness of the bike. I think it helps me in some situations. It's easier to maneuver, it feels like. And I just feel like I have more control. And I guarantee you if I switched to a Honda or Yami, yeah, I could, you know, get used to the weight and have no problem. But just something that I like. It feels good. I can kind of hop around and, you know, maybe I make a few more mistakes with it, but I truly believe it's made me a little bit more consistent, and that's just kind of my style. I'm not a hot lap guy. I'm not someone that's going to throw down a heater. It's just never going to happen. I mean, maybe one day we'll be that guy and we'll be able to actually battle for, you know, top 3s or even wins. Who knows? But for now, you know, I'm still pretty new to this. It was only my second, third time doing aerial. So the weight, man. The weight is interesting. Again, I think if you're a beginner, this is the bike to go with. I truly do. And maybe your riding style isn't what mine is. I like to, you know, be consistent. I want to learn how to be consistent, and I feel like those other bikes, you know, maybe don't hold me back, but I just don't find the consistency that I do with this bike. Those are really just the main reasons, man. The main reason is the weight. The speed, I really don't think it's that bad. It handles well, it just feels like. You know, the suspension's interesting, because on the stock bike, it's fairly stiff, you know, which doesn't work very well, but it's very different from, like, the KX, for example. There's a lot of rebound on the KX, but with this bike, I've softened up the suspension a little bit. There really is no rebound. You know, for the most part, it eats stuff up. It keeps me low to the ground. You know, it doesn't bounce a lot. And that's something I've found that I think especially the Honda is very bouncy. You know, and maybe it's because I've not used a great setup. I've used skill setup. I've used Ian setup. I've tried stuff out. And for whatever reason, man, the suspension on this bike is something that I've really gelled with, really enjoyed. And that's why I ride this bike. I'm not saying this bike is the best bike, you know, because I haven't put enough time on the Honda or Yamaha yet since the patch, but I'm also riding it because, man, I just hate seeing 1 to 2 bikes on the gate, man. I don't understand it. If we're going to do that, then you might as well, the OEM might as well do what Sim does, release 1 bike, and then release model swaps to go with the bike, and that's it. You know, because why are there not more rideable bikes? I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Listen, I want you guys who are watching this, and maybe you're not gelling with the game right now, hop on the Husky and just give it a go. Give my setup a go. See what you can do. It may not be for you or the way you play the game, and that's completely fine, but I don't know, man. It's working for me so far. We'll see. Maybe I hit a wall and I'm like, you know what? Maybe we're going to switch, but dude, I've been liking it, bro. I've been liking it. I've been having fun with it. I do think it's like one of the most fun bikes to ride in the game, at least 250Ys. But man, I just wish there was more bikes you could ride. It just sucks. I also kind of want to talk about the track just for a little bit. I know this isn't about the track, but this is more about the competitive side of the game. Great job to TFC. It's better. Great job to Sunrider. The track is better than it's been. This is the best track of the year so far. It is by no means perfect, but I can see that they're widening the track. They're giving people more lines to take, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of a fan of the deep ruts. You know, the tall wall ruts. Now I understand with the E-road of this game and the physics, sometimes it doesn't work well, and I think it just only doesn't work well in some corners. It's not every single corner. I mean, this rut right there, fairly smooth, laid out. He did a good job on that, because obviously if you went steep with that off-camber turn, the ruts would basically just be unrideable. But I know Linz and, you know, some other people were talking about how one-lined it is still, and, you know, some parts are, but yeah, I don't know how he's gonna fix that. I mean, he just has to, I guess. I don't know what his kind of plan is. I feel like this has been a gripe, especially last weekend with Thunder Valley. Extremely one line. I mean, this is way better than that. But in my races, I was actually taking a good amount of alternate lines. Never actually took this outside much, but I don't think it's that bad. Not very good though. It's a lot of extra distance you're taking, but I could always find an easy, good 2 lines at almost every single corner, which I thought was cool. People were taking the inside middle here. You know, there was a little bit of time better on this outside, but you could also go over the roller. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think this track is as bad as some people were saying it was, but I do agree with the E-road and the ruts. It was getting pretty, like, unrideable at some points, at least for me. And yeah, that can be changed. He could fix that, and I don't think that's a huge fix. It's nothing to go crazy about. You know, I think we need to let him know, and I think he'll get it done. But it's just kind of how TFC does his ruts. You know, I like how he does his ruts. I like how he does his ruts more than JV does. I'm not saying the placing of them is better. I'm saying the shape. I, for some reason, like the shape of these ruts. They are a bit more challenging, I would say, but I don't know. I think there's more realistic. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I like it so much, I'm gonna be honest, but I will say some of them are too steep. Some of them are not eroding well, because once they erode, they're just walls. You know, it obviously depends how the rut's being ridden as well, depending on the corner and stuff like that. But anyway, I don't know, man. The game, competitively, this game is not going in a good direction. We only had 75 250 riders attempt to put a lap down out of 190 signups, so basically it was almost 50% chance you were going to qual because there was only 75 people and they take 30. So it's not good, bro. I mean, the fact your conversion rate from sign up to qual is that low is mind-boggling. You know, either those are people that decided not to get the track after watching EU, or people that just didn't think they'd make it. I don't really know what it is, but yeah, pretty weird, pretty interesting. I don't know what's going on, man. But I love this bike. I'm having fun with it. The next bike's dying, guys. Put in the comments. You think this game's dying? Statistically, it's not. So I don't know, dude. I don't know what's going on. Lens isn't happy. There's a lot of guys quitting, a lot of top guys, which sucks. But anyway, let me show you guys the setup. I've been babbling on for a while. I'm filming this at, you know, midnight. This stream for 9 hours, so you know, just the life we gotta live, my boy. All right, so usually gas, I'm pretty sure I'm running like 1.4, I think is what I'm usually running, something like that. It doesn't really matter. It's just what weight you kind of want. I mean, the bike's already pretty light, so you could run up the gas and not have a huge problem. But just copy all the gray right here. The red is just what was stock. So yeah, I haven't changed much since the last time I showed it, but I know a lot of people have been asking me recently about it because they haven't really seen it. So yeah, that's what we got. That is my Husky setup. It's been going great. Only guy that's on the bike. Not really sure why, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.